Parental involvement linked to student achievement outcomes in both homeschool and public school settings. Many researchers have studied the effects of parental involvement in their child's academic life, and they have concluded that parental involvement does indeed have an effect on student achievement. For my paper, I discuss the parental involvement in both homeschool and public school settings and the student achievement outcomes of both. For my research, I interviewed two mothers, one with a homeschooling senior student and one with a public school senior student. I also gave both students an academic SAT practice test. Researchers Goldring and Phillips state that parents who participate in school choice are likely to be more involved in their child's education. This means picking out what type of schooling is best for your individual student. Both mothers had reasons why they picked the schooling they did. For example, the public school mother said, "I felt that being with other kids had some positives to offer. Having to work out problems, deal with peer pressure, being organized, and listening to someone besides myself would help them in the future, and with following directions." There are many motivating reasons why parents are involved in their children's education, academic and social concerns, and for their own belief that they can act in ways that are likely to produce desired outcomes, meaning that they can have their students learn exactly what they want them to learn, or even believing that they can control how smart their student will be. Researchers say that these reasons are more relevant in the homeschooling community rather than public schooling, but they are in both education settings. Homeschooling also usually has motivations from outside sources, like friends or family, unlike public schooling. When I asked the homeschooling mother about outside sources, she said, "We had several friends who homeschooled. They were a great support system." And when asking the public school mother, research results proved positive when her answer was no. Researchers also state that public school students have parents that get involved because they believe that they should be involved. And unlike the thought of some homeschooling parents that they want to control what the students learn, researchers state that public school parents want their involvement to make a positive difference. Parental involvement in public school differs from parental involvement with homeschooling because with homeschooling, the parents are the teachers and are involved in the primary teaching of the students. DeVerix and O'Brien state in an article 6 different types of parental involvement with public school children: parenting, communicating, volunteering, learning at home, decision-making, and community collaboration. Researchers DeVerix and O'Brien state that programs and interventions that engage families in supporting their children's learning at home are linked to higher student achievement. The homeschooling mother said, "I did the teaching, helping with schoolwork, and I tried to instill a love for learning, how and where to look things up when they want or need to study them, lots of family vacations or field trips, and I also tried to do a lot of hands-on projects." Many researchers concluded that parental involvement does indeed affect student achievement. But in this particular research study, Hoover, Dempsey, Reed, Walker, and Jones stated that parental involvement in children's education appears to influence student outcomes because it offers modeling, reinforcement, and instruction that supports the development of attitudes, knowledge, and behaviors associated with successful school performance. When I asked both mothers if they had thought their involvement had affected their children's academic achievements, they both replied, "I hope so." After testing the two seniors, one from public education, the other from home education, both students fell in the category of missing between 2 and 4 questions out of 20 reading and math questions. I also examined their SAT scores against the Florida average from 2011. They both received better scores than the Florida average. From all the research that I have found, and also from my own research, I've concluded that parents are motivated by many reasons to be involved in their children's education, but the main reason is simply because they want to help their child succeed. Whether parents homeschool or have public school taught children, they are involved as they can be, and help their students understand the material that they do not understand, and work with their children until they get it. From research done before me, and with my own personal research, I believe that students are very much benefited academically from parental involvement. So what all this information has meant is that whether you are homeschooled or taught at a public school, parental involvement is a key ingredient in student academic success.